Okay, we are going to graph logs and exponentials without a calculator. Okay, we're going to graph a few things. We're going to have to know if it is let's look here. Okay, if it is a growth or a decay, and then if it's a log function or an exponential or log, and if it's a growth or a decay. Okay, so a few things. Okay, when you're looking at your equation, right, we're looking at our b, our base. If it's greater than 1, it's going to be a growth. If it's less than 1, if it's between 0 and 1, okay, it's going to be a decay. Okay, so knowing the way that these look is important. Okay, this is the silliest way that I remember. Exponential, right? If I want to be fancy, I'm going to write an E in cursive. If I write an E in cursive, okay, this part is going to model and look like my exponential function, okay? Which means my log is going to be, it's going to be reflected over the y equals x line, okay? So if this was, that's my y equals x line, it's going to be reflected over, it's going to look like that, which is exactly what this guy looks like on the right. Okay, so some things that we're going to graph is we're going to graph the asymptote, okay, and then we're also going to graph the y-intercept, and then it's just going to be in the shape as an exponential or a log graph, growth and or decay, right? Okay, so here's some transformations. It's going to reflect over the x-axis. If it has a negative in front of f of x, it's going to reflect over the y-axis. If there's a negative with the x, okay, we're always going to reflect first. It's going to shift up or down if there's something added or subtracted to the back side, and it's going to shift left or right if something's inside, okay? So shifting up or down is going to change, okay? This is going to change my horizontal asymptote, which is going to be what, if you're looking at the problems and or the solutions, like what that dashed line is. All right, so let's look at this, okay? Y is equal to 2x, okay? Here's my b value. It's the value of 2, so that we're going to say this is a growth, okay? There's nothing added to the back side. Since there's nothing added to the back side, my asymptote, right, is going to be right here at 0. So we're going to draw this dash line here at 0. Okay? Then we're going to find the y-intercept, which is the other point that we need to find. To find the y-intercept is when x is equal to 0. So I'll go 2 to the 0 power is going to give me 1. So my x-intercept is at 0, 1. Okay, and we said this is a growth. Not only is it a growth, but it's an exponential growth. Okay, an exponential growth is going to look like the fancy E. It's going to look like that. And that's all. We're done. We have our two things, or we know it's in a growth. Okay, we have the shape of it correct, and then we have my asymptote and my y-intercept. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, this is y is equal to log of x. And you're like, where is my base? You know, like there is no base. So like, how am I supposed to know if this is a growth or a decay? Right? Well, my base would be 10 because nothing is down here. Okay, so since it's 10. Okay, it's greater than 1, and so this is a growth. And then we're also going to be able to figure out, hey, what is my y-intercept? Okay, so when x is 0, so it's going to be log of 0, right? So then we would say, okay, log of 0, we're trying to find, so y equals log of 0. Okay, so this is a base of what? So it would be 10 to something is equal to 0. Right? And no, that's silly. We're not doing that. Okay? So what we're doing, we know that the, since there's nothing added or subtracted, my y-intercept is there. Okay? And now we're looking at, since there is no y-intercept, looking back here, okay, at my log, okay, my log, I'm not going to look for my y-intercept here, I'm going to look for my x-intercept. Okay, and you look for my x-intercept because my asymptote is on this line. So going back here, okay? We're looking for my x-intercept, so that's when y is equal to 0. So 0 is equal to log of x. So you'd be like, what? Now what we did yesterday is we said, okay, now if I rolled it, okay, let's make it go this way. Okay, 10, let's get off the eraser. Okay, 10 to the 0 is equal to x, so x is equal to 1. Okay, my x-intercept is there. This is a growth. It's going to grow up to the top right-hand corner. All right, there we go. Looking at number 3. Okay, this is a 1/3. Okay, so that 1/3 tells me this is a decay. Okay, it's exponential since it's in that form, and that negative out in front tells me it's going to reflect, right? We're going to reflect over the x-axis. Okay, reflecting over the x-axis. Okay, it's not moving up or down, so I still have my asymptote here. Exponential's got asymptote there. Okay, my y-intercept, right? So negative 1/3 raised to the 0. We do this first. 1/3 to the 0 is 1, so I've got a negative out there. So it'd be 0, comma, negative 1. And we've got a decay. Let's do a few more. Okay, now we've got a log, okay, and this has been a log that everything has been moved down 1. So that means my new asymptote, number 4, since this is log, sorry, it's not asymptote, since it is log, we have been moved down 1, and so as I go to this, it is this guy doesn't change, okay? That is not changing until, let me look, until like number 7. Number 7, it does change because we've got an x plus 3 in here. And so since this is a log equation, log has your asymptotes on your y-axis. And so whenever I move left and right, that's when it's going to change. This down 1 is meaning my x-intercept is going to be moved down 1, but we can find that in a second. Okay, so that has not changed, okay? This down 1 is going to be helpful because now I need to figure out, okay, this is, and this 1/2 tells me it's a decay. And now I'm going to say, okay, 0 is equal to log of 1/2 x minus 1. Move that 1 over. 1 is equal to log 1/2 x. I like to write the logs on the left side. Okay. Quit with the eraser. Okay. Okay, 1/2 to the x, okay, is equal to 1. Okay, so as I look over here, we're moving this down. And since it is a decay, there we go. All right, just a few more. Number 5. Okay. Number 5, so we've got a growth, correct? Okay. Number 5, nothing has been moved. Okay, nothing has been moved up or down. So my asymptote is still here. Okay, now we need to figure out where my y-intercept is. Okay, my y-intercept, so we've got 2, right? And this is going to be my y-intercept is when x is equal to 0. This is 1/2, right? So I'm going to be going over at 0, right? At 0, I'm going to be up 1/2. Okay, this right here is saying, hey, that I've been moved to the right 1. So typically my point has started here. Now I'm going to move it to the right 1. Okay, so on our answer sheet, you're going to see this red point. On this right here, you're going to see that this has been moved. Typically, we had it here, and it's been moved down 1. And this point, whoop, right here, it's going to be at the 1/2. Okay, so this is helping me say, hey, that original point has been moved down 1. Okay. And now we'll do our last one, number 6. Okay, and then we'll do 7 because that has, so 6. This has been moved up 1. Okay, it's exponential, so let's move up 1 for an asymptote. Okay. This 1/2, right, means it's a decay. And then that negative, right, that negative up there with the x is going to reflect over the y-axis. So that guy is y-axis reflection. Okay, so we've been moved up 1. Okay, y-axis reflection. Let's look to see where my, so 1/2 to the negative 0, right? 1/2 to the 0 power. Okay, it's going to give me 1 plus 1. It's going to give me 2. Okay, so it has been moved up 1. Okay, which if my like original point was right there, it's been moved up 1. It is going to be a decay, and it's going to be reflected over the y-axis. So that's what I'm looking like. Okay, last one. This is what I'm talking about, a log. So switch your head. I'm having to switch my head to exponential. Means my asymptote moves up and down. Log means my asymptote is going to move left and right. Okay, so since this is with the x, we're actually going to go left 3 for my asymptote. Okay, left 3 for that asymptote. This 3 right here means that this is a growth. Okay, and left 3 means asymptote's been moved to the left 3. And then if you like went about this and said, okay, what is going to be my x-intercept? Okay, that's also going to hopefully be moved to the left 3. So where I started was right here. Okay, where I end, let's look in a second. Okay, let's see if we can do this. We're going to go log 3 x plus 3 is equal to 0, right? When I roll it, 3 to 0 is equal to x plus 3. That's 1. So x is equal to negative 2. There's my point. Okay, and that has been moved conveniently to the left 3. Okay, this is a log growth. So it's going to look like that. Okay, let's finish the rest, and that's it.